me see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old wind.
Oh dear, this is a lot of games.
Are we on?
Yes.
Oh my God, please help us by getting all of your friends to subscribe and like our channel. We're surrounded. The games have us up against the wall.
They're attacking us! Okay, so I don't know if y'all saw my picture on Instagram that I just posted an hour ago. Probably not if you're watching this video. But I posted a pic of Rich, and I made him take every game we played in the last 2 months off the shelf, and that's what these are. So every time you say to me now, oh, we have to play all these games you have so many games, and then
This is ridiculous.
you
This
see
is
how
a
much
lot
we
of
go
games.
through
Wow.
in a season, in a mere 2 months.
We're game gluttons.
We're talking about January and February today. Okay, monthly math is dead. R.I.P. We're now only doing, I'm calling it hashtag seasons of games.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, we already did summer, and we filmed fall. I don't know if we posted fall, but here's winter. Not December, because we did film the end of the year stats. Just so you know, in case it never sees the light of the day, our poor yearly math.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was. It might still see the light of day. It might come out of the archive, but I just want to move forward in time instead of backwards because we've just been stuck. I need a clean slate.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
You got in a little backlog.
So I decided the issue with those videos has always been we talk too much. I talk too much. And then Rich gets upset, and then we have to refill like 2 or 3 times. Hi, Tim. Hello. So now our not monthly. We're not, instead of monthly, we're doing seasons of games.
Seasons of games.
And I figured the live format is like, we'll be more relaxed. We won't feel like we're under this time crunch trying to make it a less than hour long video, you know. So we'll probably be here for an hour and a half at least talking about these games.
Shh, don't scare them away.
Tim is our most loyal fan.
Hi, Tim.
Number 1 fan. He'll never leave us, even if we don't post a video for 3 months. So we love you, Tim. Actually, we have been posting videos, just they've been live streams. It's a live streaming channel now, guys. Which I'm fine with. Content is content. There
What's
goes
that?
my phone, which needs to be turned off, probably.
Oh my. Anybody good?
Here, silence your phone, too, while we're at it.
Oh, no one ever
Streamers are-
calls me.
People call you.
No. And anyway, well, they won't.
Anyway, I have notes, but also we're just going to go for these stacks right now. So I do want to spit off a few numbers real quick.
Okay.
So that you all know. I should also mention our 2023 stats were creepily exactly like almost number for number the same as our 2022 stats.
That's so
Yeah, so we average 37 games a month, by the way.
Wow.
And we average about a game day per week, which is pretty good, considering we don't really have like a steady weekly game night happening right now. Like there's just, random game nights that happen spur of the moment, So I think that's pretty good. But yeah, like our we play an average of 550 to 600 games a year. So, yes, Tim, that feels sustainable. I just want you to have more opportunities to see our smiling faces and hear our loving voices. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Some people don't even like break like 30 plays a month, So, and this month, well
we
I
get
could
really
not the month,
hot on games.
the season
too, so.
for January we had 38 plays.
Okay.
This does not include my solo plays, by the way. And we played 6 new to us games.
6,
And
not bad.
we played with 5 different people on 3 different game days. So yeah, so January was pretty good. It was pretty solid.
I kind of felt like January was a really good month.
There's been a lot of Wingspanning. It's like our new favorite game. But we'll get to that. Then in February, it was a little less because you went away to Carmel with your friend Jennifer. Another beach house vacay, just the girls, And so we only got 27 plays in together. But that was a better solo month for me because I actually played 17 solo plays that month.
Oh.
But we only played 3 new to us games. But we played with 6 different people that month on also 3 different game days. So not quite 1 game day a week.
And I don't know that you're keeping stats on this, but I'm sure we have introduced a lot of our friends to new games they've never played
every
before.
time.
Yeah.
Every
So
time.
we're spreading the gospel.
And we finally got Celia's open back up. We've been introducing her to a lot of new lighter games.
She likes the lighter ones.
Which we'll be talking about. And she introduced us to a new lighter game in this period
I love
as
that game.
well. So.
And we don't have that one to show.
We don't have that one to show, but.
We would have if you'd let me order it the other night when I wanted to, and it was going to come the next day. Next day delivery on Amazon.
It is good.
For games.
Well, so you don't want to go for the new to us in order. That was.
Oh, I don't care. Go.
I think that was new to us in December, actually, not January.
Probably.
But that game was medium. If you've never played it, it's a party game. It's pretty popular. You can find it on Target.
They basically call it a word association game. You're trying to come up with the same word.
Yeah, you got to create a psychic link with your partner. So it's like you're playing with partners, which I know a lot of people like, oh, I don't like games where you play on teams. But this is a game where you play with partners that I like. Yeah. Actually, because you have 2 partners. So you have a partner on each side.
Left and
that
right.
You're doing. So you're kind of doing this ring around the posy type of thing. And one person, the first person plays a card of word. Then the other person, you have like a hand of 5 different words. And then the other person plays a different card. And you're trying to then
set up.
Yeah, so then you're trying to count 1, 2, 3, or however long it takes you. I think that game needs a timer though. Because sometimes people take too long trying to think of something. And if you don't think of something immediately, it doesn't work. Because what you're trying to do...
It does work better if it's right away.
Yeah, because what you're trying to do is get the word that has... a word that has something in common with both the words you each played. So like if Rich plays bear and I played university, we would both say... Berkeley. Yeah. Californians in the house. Go Bears.
With my Cal shirt.
Exactly. Represent. Go Bears. Yeah. And it sounds like, okay, that's like too random. How would that even work? There is a strategy to it. And Celia's right. You need to get less specific and more vague generally, unless you find the perfect combo. Like me and Mike one time, me and Mike are so obnoxious. We always play this game with Celia and her boyfriend Mike. It's like a great like couples game kind of, because I get to be a couple with her man, because we always have this psychic connection. One time one of us played, I forget what it was, bald eagle. One of us played like fireworks, and then we both went 1, 2, 3, America.
That one's still, I would, yeah.
It's just a lot of laughs. It's such a fun party game. I really do like that one. And as y'all know, I'm very picky
about party games.
When it comes to party games. Like, we have transcended beyond Cards Against Humanity. We've transcended to some other
Even
Nirvana.
Joking Hazard is like...
Joking Hazard's okay.
It's okay. But...
because you can actually create your own comics. There's a little bit of creativity involved.
Right.
Cards now. And I don't like the sense of humor that much anymore. It hasn't dated very well.
No.
In these woke times. I'm wide awake because I got my coffee.
Oh, wow, you're woke.
So woke, baby. I've transcended.
Did you show everybody your cute little rabbit mug? It is so cute. I'm looking at this cute little rabbit.
So you got Peter Rabbit on one side.
Oh my god.
Then he's
Oh wow,
presenting
it's almost
on the
like
other.
bunny porn.
Yeah, and he's looking at you. He's like, "Hey,
Oh.
daddy."
Mm.
Oh, so Tim has played Medium. He says it's hilarious when you get in sync with the other players. It is. It's super fun. And not, though, poor Rich. you get writer's block in this game.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
I always get writer's block.
It's hard because you're thinking too hard about it.
No, the worst game for me for writer's block is that one that oh god, it's a really popular game too. Categories.
Oh yeah, he
God,
hates
I cannot
categories.
think with
I love
categories,
categories, but as we've
hate
established,
that
I
game.
love real-time games because I thrive on that tense kind of energy. Like, I'm one of those quick thinkers, but like
slow.
semi-slow and steady brontosaurus.
I've got a pot roast brain.
Speaking of viruses, we played this one, Viral. So this game highly recommended to me from the brothers Murph, who love this game. So this is Portuguese publisher and designers. They're like a little team. They do a lot of family weight, like tile placement games mostly, but this is an area control game based on you're controlling like the different they're not bacteria, they're viruses. Little viral organisms that are traveling through the body, and you're trying to get area control over like the different organs, and you're traveling around like the bloodstreams and stuff. It's really cool looking and a very interesting idea.
We got to get this one back to the table.
We have to play it. I think you need to play it at 3 or more to really,
okay.
Because it's a classic area control kind of game. I found it a little clunky at 2. Like
It
all
was
the
a
steps.
bit clunky, yeah.
Yeah, because it's one of those games where you have this phase, and now we're going to this phase where you're doing the actions and traveling around, which is fine. But then you have like these different phases that are like basically checks for the different area control elements. And I think having more of that competitive edge of 3, I mean, in the rules for 2 players, it says you're supposed to use a third player bot. We did not play with the third player bot because we thought that we know better or
How
something.
many does it play up to? Is it?
I think it's
4
5 or
5?
6. 5? It plays up to 5.
Oh, well then we should play it tonight.
Why? What's tonight?
Game night.
Oh! I told you they're so impromptu. I don't even know about them. I think it would be good at more players. We have to see if anyone's actually coming tonight.
Right.
Because I just assumed they weren't.
Well, we've had a lot of, bad weather recently, and on a like when it's
We're
really
not used to
storming out.
Yeah, we're not used to rain in California. So
And it's
some
been a
people
lot. Ooh, lots of rain.
It has been. I'm surprised it hasn't flooded, to be honest. But it's been flooding in Southern California.
Yeah.
But here in Sacramento, we're more used to flooding, and we have rivers to drain into. We didn't cement up all our rivers like the Angelinas did.
Yeah.
But I really blame the capitalists in the 20s and 30s that did all that shit. But anyway, I think this game could be good with more players because it's very area control. It's all about the area control in this game. So, which there are area control games that work it too really well, like Kune.
Yeah.
It makes me more impressed that game works. You know what I mean? Because I really haven't seen another area control game at 2 that really works as well as that one. But this one, I think, is really designed to be a multiplayer area control game.
But, we give this one high marks for originality.
The art is so cute. The cute little viruses, they're just adorable little monsters. And we love little monsters.
We do love little monsters. Look
channel.
at this one. Look at this one. He's going to eat you.
The art is super cute. It's so cute.
There we go.
Arcane Wonders, by the way, which I think they're just the distributor. These guys, Meebo is their design studio. They're publishing.
We're going to put this one on the shelf. I'm going to put it right there. I don't care.
We're going to slowly... There's even more off-screen, by the way. There's a whole nother stack.
We better get going. Come on now.
Okay, so this is one. Celia gave this to me for Christmas or was it my birthday?
It was your birthday.
Yeah, it was just right after Christmas. I'm one of those unfortunate people. This is a tile placement game from our old friends at Calliope Games. Do you remember a little game called Mass Transit that we talked constant trash about when we first started this channel? So this is the same people. Which this has in common with that game a very cool concept that should be more fun than it actually is. It's so...
Yeah.
Poor Celia, she said, I wanted to find a tile placement game you didn't have. I mean, impossible, Celia, clearly. That's actually good. Well, so it's like this. There's different versions of this too. Like there's a stained glass one. This is Four Corners Galaxy specifically. There's like, I think there's like a Four Corners Fantasy one. There's like Four Corners Safari. They have all different ones. But basically it's like, you're making a grid of tiles, right? And you have the four corners and like you have like the little... each quarter of like a star or planet. And I guess the goal of the game is you're trying to flip the tiles in such a way that you create like a complete planet, all of the same color. Mm-hmm. So this is, again, I think another case where we need to play it at 3 or 4 before I give a final judgment on it.
I mean, I wouldn't give a final judgment on it, but I will say
it does have a solo mode, by the way, too, which I also played the solo mode, which is a little bit better, but
yeah,
very short.
Yeah, I mean...
like 15 minutes.
It does make you realize, though, you cannot judge a game by its cover. Because, I mean, like, looking even
This
at
reminds
the
me,
back...
remember Simon? Does anyone remember that game,
yeah, it totally
Simon?
looks like Simon.
That's what it reminds me of.
But, I mean, if, you know, just...
the tiles
just
are cool.
reading the back cover and then you're looking at, you're putting together... It just sounds so much fun. And that is why you need this channel, to help you. To save you.
Remember.
From spending money on games that,
Now, in her defense, she was in a game store. Actually, not a bad game store in Folsom called the Game Getaway. I don't know, that's where she got this stuff. And they have a lot of family weight games. They mostly cater to the family weight market.
This should be a game that you would love because it's 1 to 6 players, and a lot of games don't.
Like I said, I think because I did play the solo mode, and in the solo mode, it's a little more challenging. It's still pretty quick. It's like a 15-minute game solo, but it's slightly more interesting because you have a fixed number of turns in order to score the 3 planets. And because that's the end of the game, once you've made 3, put 3 of the 4 corners together. So that's getting 12 things to match up. So in the multiplayer game, you have other people you're rotating cards. It's one of the main things you're doing in this game. It's a lot of rotating of cards and placing of new cards.
You lost me. Dokumus. Can you say Dokumus?
Yeah, it's a similar kind of puzzle in the sense that, it's a map. People are constantly trying to build something out, and then other people are, like, messing with what you built. So that's why I think it would be better at more players.
So they'd mess with you even more?
Yeah.
That's where I just give up. It's just like... Good. Oh, you're going to win? Great. I'm so happy for you.
I found it a little basic. But I want to play it with Celia and Mike and then see what she thinks. And, then if maybe we enjoy it more multiplayer.
Because
it'd be something
thoughtful.
Yeah, it's a thoughtful gift. I appreciate a gift. And
I can see why she thought
it's not an awful game by any means. But I think this would be fun to play with with Violet, with the niece. I think it's designed to be played with kids. It's, so... Mm-hmm. And what else do Lizzie's think?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I have any thoughts in this little head of mine.
Tim, do you want to know what Rich was about to say?
Does he?
I don't know.
I see your lips moving, but nothing's coming out. All right, on to the next game.
Okay,
yeah.
Get it out of my sight.
Yeah, and we'll put it next to Dokumus. That's where it belongs.
He always complains I never let him finish his thoughts. So, baby,
no, you just like to fit
thought.
in so many words in just such a tight little time span that it makes it very difficult.
I get excited.
He does, and he just has such a plethora of words. Must come out.
I have words.
Yes.
Many words.
Yes.
Tim says, "Oh dear."
This is what
he doesn't want to see us fight on camera.
We're not fighting. This is called squabbling, and squabbling is actually healthy for a relationship. We don't.
You see, a
fights.
Tomato is a completely different species than a tomato.
Exactly.
This is why we have to refilm things. Okay. Age of Comics. We streamed this. I thought I did a very good job of the teacher this.
I love this game, which is surprising because, you know, I was never into comic books, never collected them, anything. But there's something about...
You're a different kind of nerd.
This game is so great because you have to think all the way from inception to having creative people. You have to do hiring, for crying out loud, and then marketing, and it just makes it fun.
Very good thematic implementation, I would say. It feels a little samey and by the numbers after several plays for me. But I do think it's really good as like a training wheel worker placement game. This is something like, you know,
for sure.
It's pretty accessible. I don't think like this would be a good baby's first worker placement game, I think.
I think so too.
Maybe not baby. Maybe more like, you know,
teenager.
Not teenager. You could totally
toddler.
You could totally teach this to an 8 or 9 year old. I think.
Okay, a little older than a toddler.
Of smart 8 or 9 year old. It does say 14 plus on the box though, so maybe they're more in your line of thinking. But I mean, it's got a little bit of chonk to it. It's definitely not the chonkiest Euro.
Definitely not. But we both love it. Maybe
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I also want to do another big shout out to Jamie and Jeff from Foster's Meeple, who lovingly sent this to me because, you know,
you won a contest.
I won a contest. On their Patreon, yeah. But still, I still appreciate it.
That was very nice. Thank you, Jamie and Jeff.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure. Well, this isn't the deluxe version though. That has like the actual comics and stuff. I don't even know. I gotta look up some pics of that actual like deluxe Kickstarter version, like what it has differently, because this is a pretty good production. I
would say, yeah, this one's pretty fully realized as a game.
Yeah, it's nice. So I highly recommend this. If you like worker placement games in general, I think you'll enjoy it. If you have, I think more so, this is good for like more gateway gamers, that friends that you have that are, you know, are comics nerds, I think would really get into this, that maybe don't want to do a super heavy Euro, you know. I think this would be a good kind of middle of the road compromise type of game for people like that. I'm gonna have to look
at the rule book and see if, like, because I have some older friends that are retired teachers, and I play games with some of them, but I am really awful at teaching games.
If I come with you, I could help you teach it to Tony.
Yeah,
I think because she's played games. New York Zoo.
She liked it.
This might be a little much. I might do maybe another middleweight game before I launch her into this one. Four Gardens, I think she would like.
Yeah, let's do that one next.
Well, I want to finish the New to Us games real quick. I want to talk about Kune versus Lakia, because the stream is still coming. We are going to be streaming this next week, hopefully, if Rich doesn't take a job. So the reason we haven't been streaming as much the last couple of weeks is because Rich has been taking jobs. He has the surgery coming up, which we thought was going to happen last week, but didn't end up happening last week. My back has been messed up. I can't even, like, sit upright for very long. And it's getting better, though. But, like, I'm like, ugh. You know, like, the last month has been not the funnest for me personally.
Yeah, he has been in a lot of pain, but he's so good. This is why I love him so much, because he is really not a bear that much. Even when he's in pain, he's pretty good. I mean, he gets a little short, maybe, but all in all, I'd say you handle it so much better. And I've known lots of people that didn't have any trouble inflicting their pain upon you, so
because I don't take out my negative emotions on other people.
That's why I'm with him.
So Tim said he hopes the surgery goes well. They're operating on the same spot on his neck for like the fifth time.
Neck.
But the reason it didn't happen last week was because they wanted to do a consultation, because you have a different surgeon this time. Thank the Lord. Hopefully maybe they'll get it all this time, but you know, my poor baby. He grew up in the 60s before they had
They didn't even have sunscreen. My sister, who's 4 years older than me, they used to put baby oil on. It's like, might as well get the Pam out and just spray yourself with Pam.
I grew up in the 90s, I think, when my parents put sunscreen on us.
Yeah, sure. By then. Yeah. I think it changed probably
in the 80s, I think.
In the 80s.
Is when they first started developing a lot of sunscreens.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kune versus Lakia, which is about the opposite of our beautiful relationship, but about a very toxic bunny marriage that ends in divorce. And so the full title is Kune versus Lakia, a chronicle of a royal Lapine divorce foretold. Oh, so we saw the writing on the wall. They saw the red flags, and her dad was like, just marry him. I need the money.
The drawing is so cute in this one.
It is really cute art. So this is an asymmetric tug of war game. The thing it reminds me most of is Stonewall Uprising, actually.
Really?
The way that it works. But it's deck building, a little deck building,
Yeah.
asymmetric 2-player game.
Yeah,
And there's a bunch of different decks. The way the market works is very interesting because the different decks you draw from sort of are like multi-use cards that you can use for special abilities as well. And so you're like curating your hand. It's more like less deck building and more like hand curation
I would
building.
say that's what it is.
Because you're not shuffling a deck. You basically have access to your whole deck is your hand of cards each round. And it's very cute. I just love this. So you're basically one of you is Kune. That's the guy. One of you is Lakia. That's the princess. And, well, you're both set on getting everything in the divorce. I mean, Kune wants to make sure he gets the dog. And Lakia is like...
And the truck.
There's royal stables and a horse.
All right.
And there's carrot perfume. Lakia wants to make sure she gets that carrot perfume, you know. These are real cards in the game. And it's very cute. It's tough to win as Kune, though.
Now, how did you get this game?
eBay. I heard about this game from Tabletop Toki, you know, Tia. Hi, Tia, one of my fellow button shy mega fans. She had talked about this game as like one of her favorite like little deck builders. Like she said, it's like maybe like her favorite deck builder. So she has very discerning tastes, you know, because she like hates popular games and she's not afraid to tell people. Destroy
Well,
their
this
dreams.
is as quirky as a game you're
Super
gonna get.
quirky. And then Monique and Naveen talked about it, and I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna get that on. I looked for it and I found it on eBay for $14. So eBay is actually a surprisingly good place to get secondhand games, apparently. Also, Tim was saying in the chat he's only played 44 games so far this year. So, you know, some people just average 20. You know, people live busy lives. But
well,
yeah,
okay, if it was just me, it would be more like that, but he keeps us on a regular schedule, you know?
This is the games we played. You can only imagine what the Shelf of Shame looks like, but it is getting whittled down.
It is. It's not that big compared to all this.
Yeah, because I do want to do a shelf tour soon video. We might do that as a live. But anyway, Kune versus Lakia. This is happening soon. You liked it.
Yeah. I can honestly say it added something to the collection. And I do
different.
like that. We both like kind of quirky games sometimes, like this one.
And rabbits.
Yeah.
We needed a rabbit themed game.
They're so cute. Right there.
And so in hate.
They're not looking real happy.
They look like real rabbits. Rabbits rage!
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
And then, for January, what did you want to talk about from January?
I don't know.
Because I just wanted to hit the new to us.
Are those did we hit them all? Yeah.
Well, I haven't hit February yet.
All right, let's go.
There's only 3 for those. So, another game I streamed recently, solo, Groves by the Dadini, Steve Armini. Actually, this is a co-design with Dan Lutzkring, who owns this this company, Letterman Games. They have now. Actually, Tim, if you're looking for a game for your 8-year-old, nephews and nieces, the same publisher has like a little, it's like RPG light. It's like, you know, Dungeons and Dragons for kids, kind of. They have a series.
There we go. That's perfect.
But yeah, so Steve Armini, Gross. This is a really good solo mode. It's very different multiplayer, I will say. So I do want us to do a multiplayer stream of this at some point.
And this is a new kind of game that we didn't have.
This is our first bag builder.
Yeah.
It's still a worker placement game, but you're drawing your workers out of the bag, which are the fairies. It's a fairy theme, right? And what I love any game where you're building out your action spots, curating your action spots.
Yeah.
I always love that in any kind of engine building worker placement game.
We've even gotten a number of games since this one, but I am still hot for this game. I mean,
well, I think you're just hot for the Dadini in general, because we're going to be talking about another game, which is all the hotness right now.
I have a huge announcement to make when we get the other one out, too.
Okay, well, I'm going to be probably getting it out soon after this one. But this is an older title of Steve Armini's, though. This is from 2018, and obviously there's not many people talking about this. Like, if you go on BGG, I think my video is like by far the most recent, other than the last one was like in 2018 when this Kickstarter actually happened, you know? But it is very good. He's a great designer.
It's excellent.
Very excellent.
If you can find it, I would.
And we played it with Jamila and Shelley, who are very gateway gamers, and yeah, they did very well with this.
Half price.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
$20. It was actually half price for once.
I know.
We're in a very love-hate relationship with half price books now, but you know, we still get winners like this, which still keeps me coming back.
That definitely would keep me.
This is Baby's first worker placement game.
Okay, so maybe that one would be the one.
Because Shelley really enjoyed this, yeah. Even though she lost.
I love those you have little gems in there that are just like, I mean.
See, usually I don't like the games that have, the little plastic crystals, whatever. But in this one, it works for me because they're purple.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
And the bags are really nice.
He loves his amethyst.
This is a really good, again, really good. This is supposed to be like a family weight. Like, this is the one you introduce to 8-year-olds for worker placement.
Yeah.
So if you can find it,
I do like the bag. What is it called? Bag building. Bag building. I like that element
because it's not very push your luck. Because there is a strategy to curating your bag in this game.
Although it does make you if you understand statistics and probability, you know that you can.
It helps.
Yeah, but. Even at that, you know, it's loaded with blue tokens, but you still end up getting the one yellow token
every time.
It's so weird.
Then you dump out your bag at the end, and you're like, "I had 10 green. Where were they?
Where were they? They
not green. That's not one of the colors.
Yeah, green is one of the colors.
Is it?
Yeah, green, yellow, red, and blue. I think, and black maybe.
Orange.
No.
Where's orange in there?
That's probably the red.
There's only 4 main colors of fairies.
Oh, it's probably the red, orange.
It's yellow, blue, green, and orange, which looks like red to me.
Yeah.
Reddish orange.
To me. Yeah. It's enchanting, and they are like little fairies.
Very good engine building game. It is one of those games where you can create a different engine and take a different strategy every time, which is what I really like about it.
Maybe we'll have to find some... I'll have to bring up some of my radical fairy friends.
This you could do with Tony, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, well, if we're putting that away, we might as well just talk about Fliptown, because I know we're going to be talking about that the longest. So, this is all the hotness on the Discord right now. I'm surprised everyone is talking about it finally. We played this game at RageCon like 9 months ago, so it's not new to us, technically, but it is our most played game recently. This is one that Rich actually asks to play like every night. He's like, can we play that?
I love this game.
So this is a flip and write.
So good.
By Steve Armini, the Dadini. Brilliant. Absolutely wonderful. I am obsessed with this game too. If you like combo tasks, if you like Hadrian's Wall at all, you will love this game. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like Three Sisters, but better.
I mean, and look how compact it is too.
It's nice. So you're making poker hands is one of the main way that you're kind of selecting actions. So you're like drawing 3 cards and
basically Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, you should play that variant. It's called a variant in the rules, but when Steve taught this to us, the designer, he gave us the Texas Hold'em variant, and so I think that playing without the Texas Hold'em is like the intro training wheels, but really you should just play with the Texas Hold'em because it makes it much easier to make the poker hands in the games that you need by the end of the round. But anyway, you're like putting out 3 cards from the poker and you're picking 1 to write down. So you like have 5 turns to basically curate your poker hand for some scoring at the end of the round. And you're using the other 2 cards, one for the value, and one for the suit, which will determine which area on the board you can fill out and cross stuff out. And so there's a lot of different areas. So there's, in addition to
Can
the
we
form.
take out the one?
Okay, yeah, let's just start tearing it apart. This is what's happening right now.
This is what's happening.
Because it's so good.
Oh yeah, come here.
And really not. It's a little. You have to front load the teach on this one. So when we first taught it to us, I was a little like, "Oh, this game sounds complicated." I was worried that you wouldn't be able to handle it. And it's small print and stuff. But you have like the different areas on the board. So there's the 4 main areas. Can you point because I have to?
Okay, I'll have to stand up. But
so you have the 4 main
Spades.
areas.
The Badlands.
Oh, that's your push your luck aspect.
The heart is this trail.
Bumping that track.
The diamonds is the gold mine.
That's like you're digging down, and that's where you can create some combos.
And the clubs are the town.
This is the
my
real
favorite
engine
part.
building part of the game.
I like
Different
the town.
abilities and different sort of scoring things. There's a lot going on in the town.
And then the other area that's fun, and it's kind of like if you don't get what you want, and he'll explain a little bit about that, but if you don't get what you want, you can always go to the cemetery.
The cemetery is a good area to go to, which can also help you trigger some combos in other areas. And then here's where you're doing your poker hands for each of the rounds. So you're like writing down the card that you want to keep for the poker hand that you're not using for actions that turn. And then when you get to the end of the round, you have this little chart here tells you which kind of poker meld you made, like, you know, a straight, you know, royal flush, more likely a 1 pair. It's hard to do, even with the Texas Hold'em.
It's either 1 or 2 pairs.
Off
usually.
if you're doing badly, yeah.
I have not gotten anything more than 2 pairs.
I think the best I've gotten is 4 of a kind.
And I don't even know how you get a flush because
It's possible.
You'd have to have all the same.
I've gotten
much.
a flush,
I
but you know, with
haven't
the flush,
gotten
they
one.
don't have to be sequential. It doesn't have to be straight.
They just have to be the same suit.
I've gotten a flush.
I never have gotten one.
In the solo games. I played this. This is really good solo. Very good solo. And we do have the little Outskirts mini expansion. I think this is the retail edition, by the way. So I think this little mini expansion comes with all the retail copies. This is in retail. So if you missed the Kickstarter, this is currently available. So get them while they're hot.
And the
while
other
they're still
thing is,
available.
just
and then you have a lot of scoring down here. There's gold and money and, you know, wanted. So the sheriff's coming. He's going to try to arrest you at the end of the round. And depending on how much wanted you have, you may need to bribe him. So hopefully you have enough gold
that
to do
part's
so.
fun. Yeah, thematically, it's so good.
There's a bunch of push your luck elements going on in it too, in addition with this very combo-tastic, Euro-y feeling thing. But like I said, like the teach, your first time, it feels a little overwhelming the first round. But after a round, you're like, oh, this is actually... There's something intuitive about it. About the combos you're making. Yeah, because the combos aren't crazy, and it's like really a lot of it is track bumping, you know, mostly. So I think it's more visually intuitive if you're a more visual learner.
Yeah.
I think because it's really getting to the ends of these tracks.
That's what I am a more visual learner. That's probably why this one is laid out so well. And
the iconography is not like overwhelming because half the iconography is just the suits that you're used to, you know, hearts, diamonds, clubs, you know. And then the rest of it is icons that relate to the thing that they are. Like the horse helps you go on the trail more speedily. Like the pistol helps you in the Badlands when you're robbing the train. Like stuff like that. So it's very thematic and intuitive at the same time.
And the other element that makes this game so enjoyable is just
beautiful
the artwork.
deck.
Yeah. And
beautiful
look at
deck.
that's the back. Wait, I'm trying to get it. There we go. That's the back. It's like the 6. Here's one of the cards.
Tim is asking, are we jamming to Texas Hold'em by Beyonce while doing the song? Like, yes, we are.
I gotta find
Rich doesn't know. He's heard that song like once. But we should once the album drops, Tim, I will definitely put it on while we play this.
Look how cool.
She's rough and ready to rumble. Okay. And I love that when you play the solo game, you can play against bots. I should say, when you play the solo mode, you should play with the bots. It makes it more challenging. I like one of them is Annie Oakley, the little cow bots. And then we have
Calamity Jane.
Calamity Jane bot. She's hard. She's hard, and these ones, like, they steal cards from the deck, then they leave permanently from the deck, and you don't know what they are. And then they just score based on everything you don't mark off in an area. So, like, they're very hard to beat. But it makes the solo mode very good. So that's a great game. I mean, I think it definitely top 20 easily.
If you
definitely top 10.
If you even like games, I would get this game because
it's so good.
You know what? It is. It's so good. And now for the big announcement. Move over, Phil Walker Harding. There is a new favorite designer in town. And it's on the basis of this game and Groves and Animal Kingdom. These are like my favorite games. And Sprawlopolis.
We haven't played Sprawlopolis in a while, though.
Yeah, we haven't, but it was good.
It's
and
a good co-op game.
I'm just amazed at how good this game is.
He's a great designer. If you've never played a Steve Armini game, you need to fix that. I need to get his actual Euro game, which is called Crystal Palace. I think, or is it Crystal Gardens? I think it's Crystal Palace. No, wait, that's the other one. He has a game. It's Crystal something, and you're painters in ancient China.
Wow.
And it's supposed to be even more Euro-tastic than this.
All right, well,
it's an actual big box Euro game. So, yeah, we should try that one. I want to see what that one's like.
But, I mean, this one's widely available.
And
now.
I know,
it's not even that much.
I know Steve, I think he was, like, co-designing something with Johnny Pack.
Uh-huh.
Which, unconscious mind, okay, should be coming. I just got the email that mass production is starting soon.
Woo.
Still no date on when the delivery is, but I think that means
maybe April.
Certainly
by May.
I'm tasting the winds from China. Usually when mass production starts, that means it's 6-ish months away from getting to you.
Oh, still that long.
Yeah, because they got to ship it. And that's the part that actually takes the longest. So... soon, my babies, and there will be a stream of Unconscious Mind.
At least before the end of the year.
They are doing Discord teaches on their Discord, so you can play it on Tabletopia with the playtesting group if you get on their Discord. So I might do that just to scratch that itch. So because I have to learn it before I can teach it to you, because that one's gonna be chunky.
Don't leave me with unless it's an exceptionally good rule book, then I can follow them. But half the time, oh god, I'm not good with technical.
Well, they did post a rule book, so I definitely will read the rule book soon. Anyway,
what else?
We also played this delightful little game called Taco. What is it? Cat versus Taco versus Burrito.
Here it is.
So we were at Goodwill, right?
Yeah, you found another game, but then...
I'm not going to talk about that one because we played that in March. We did play this one in February. But yeah, so Taco versus Burrito. This is a game designed by a 7-year-old. Well, he was 7 at the time.
I know. That's
it's actually not bad. It's very push your luck, though.
Let's see.
Like, it's almost kind of random.
One thing that's fun about it is...
Oh, the sleeves.
Yeah. So, and then the other one is the taco.
I'm just going to put some of my cards in my sleeve. You know what I want to have in my burrito?
What are you
Some fresh brains. And maybe, a fish head. And isn't there one like cotton candy?
Oh, God, there's all kinds of disgusting stuff.
Now, be careful. Someone might put a tummy ache in your burrito. So, it's a take that card game.
Fried grasshoppers.
That sounds good in a burrito, actually. Have you ever had fried grasshoppers? It is a Mexican thing.
How about moldy bread?
That sounds yum.
Boiling kombucha.
Indeed. Ooh, hot. This is
an eyeball.
I want a squishy eyeball. It's a textural thing.
Curdled milk.
Yum. Who needs sour cream?
Yeah.
It's cute. We played this with our 5-year-old niece too, and she just loved these little sleeves and the cards. Her and her mom were like reading the cards. So it's a cute game to play with kids.
And sort of like Exploding Kittens, they don't have a nope card, but they have no bueno. No bueno.
You can tell it's like total little boy humor, but it's refreshing because we tried to play Mermaid Rain, and then Violet was wanted to sit there with us. She wanted to play Mermaid Rain with us, and she
just didn't have the.
Ooh, I should have known better. Too much. too much. She just liked the mermaids. But then we played this, and then she was happy. When
So
she went to bed.
so check out Goodwill or your friendly neighborhood thrift store, because you never know what you'll find there. I mean, I think this game, it looks completely new.
He's 13 and he has his own publishing company now, so I officially hate this kid. But that was cute. So, okay, so whatever else you want to talk about, it was a lot of old favorites. Oh, I did want to say, we need our own copy of this.
He loves this game.
We've switched places because now I love Phil Walker Harding.
No, Steve Aramini.
This is my favorite Phil Walker Harding game by far, I think. Even past Sushi Go. I love this game so much. Like when I want to scratch a little Euro-y itch in under an hour, this is my go-to now. I don't know. I like fairy tales for some reason. I wasn't into the woods, so you know I like that sort of blackly humorous. Oh, the fairy tale characters are coming, but they're eating my house, so I'm gonna shove them in my oven. Those brats. And every time I play this game, I always have in my mind, you're all liars and thieves, like his father, like he'll be one day too. Why bother? You just do what you do. It's the last midnight. That's what I was like channeling the witch from Into the Woods anytime I play this game. But anyway, and
that's why you like it. It just feeds your violent fantasies.
Rabbit's Rage. Yes.
I should have known.
Totally. So we need our own copy of it because I think Great Escape is going to start handling voicemail soon.
Yes.
But we'll get a $5 credit towards our next game.
Yes.
Which we hardly ever buy a game from there.
Because they don't usually have that many games.
They don't carry the new titles. They don't carry the classic Euro titles. Like, I don't know what they carry. They carry a bunch of minis games.
It's D&D and a bunch of other
It's minis and Warhammer, mostly. Which is fine if you're into that, but not really our scene. So, what else should we talk about? Well, rediscoveries. We did stream, finally, Gay Fog of Love. Which I will pull out.
Oh yes, for Valentine's Day.
I know. Suck it, singles. So this guy I follow on Twitter, Ross, you know, he's got the curly hair. He's kind of cute. He was like, got some flack on Twitter, I guess, for saying, you know, Valentine's Day is hard for some people, so we should be sensitive to people who are having a hard time on Valentine's Day. And I've never really been that person, really put like a lot of stock in that day, like it's like this big huge deal.
Well, you don't put any stock in any days, really.
It's true. I'm not like, I don't build, the only holiday I build up in my head, as you know, is Hanukkah. But you know, it's because I hate Christmas because I have family trauma about that, which is why I celebrate the other side instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand what he's saying. And then he was like, by the way, I'm not single. It's like everyone's all trying to get up in his comments like, I'll date you, Ross. Thirsty bitches. But it's true. So if anyone felt lonely and painfully single on Valentine's Day, just remember.
You're better off.
Most men are trash. Anyway, so you're better. They can't all be beautiful dinos. You know, I had a time machine, so, you know. Just get a time machine. I love this game. You still are. You weren't as into it this time. When we first played it, you liked it. And now you don't.
I don't really...
It's the deduction part of it.
Yeah. It's kind of the same problem I have with... I mean, I don't want to get anything started here, but... like some psychological theory seems kind of thin and maybe a bit assumptive, you know.
Well, it is very much based on like psychosexual theory, yeah.
And
he even says that. I mean, I think he's like a psychologist.
Yeah. And just this like
by trade.
There's something almost ideological about this game that I don't really care for.
I appreciate that it's non-gender specific, all the scenarios, but the game itself is built around binaries and dichotomies. Because it's a tug-of-war game, kind of. It's a cooperative tug-of-war game, essentially. It's like track balancing. I think that's what that mechanic is called. Shakespeare in the Bar Show. That's what Tim did with his friend for Valentine's Day. That sounds like fun. Go you. Shakespeare in the Park. It's always fun too.
Yeah.
Shakespeare in the Bar is even better because there's booze. What I like about this game, I love the story aspect. I want more like storytelling games. I think
I get
is
that,
what
but
it is.
just I'm trying to think. What are these like little? There's the scenes. That part of it is really kind of cute, but it's that you have to pick out certain attributes or characteristics, and then
you got to use that to guide your decision making because you're trying to cue the other person towards so that they don't have to be completely psychic.
Yeah,
depending on the scenario.
That's the part that I'm not as crazy about.
I do want to try some of the other scenarios, but it's fine to me if this is a game we only play like once a year kind of thing. Because it's not something I want to play all the time.
Right.
But like when we do play, like I just really love getting into that role-playing aspect of it. Is what I like about it.
He does it really good too.
We got a little too into the last one. I'm sorry if people watch that Fog of Love thing. I hope we didn't come off as like kind of sexist or anti-lesbian because we were leaning a little hard into the toxic lesbian trope. I was calling you bitch constantly, like
well, you do anyway,
not in a nice way. Oh,
I mean, basically, we really don't mean much of what we actually
say.
So
Tim did point out a good thing. Nikki Valance, who is a really great trans game designer, was actually involved in developing this game.
Huh.
So that I think that they were worked mostly as helping to make the scenarios non-gender specific. And I think Nikki did do at least one of the scenario packs too. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah.
But,
no, it's in that respect, it's very modern.
And Nikki Valance is also the designer of Mansions of Madness.
Oh.
Which I want to get for my niece so we can play it with my niece because she really wants to play that game. Because she really likes minis. But yeah, so I like the game. I want to get some of the other scenarios now that we've played through all 4 of the base scenarios. We could get some of the expansion ones, and maybe
let's try that.
The paranormal romance one looks like it would be cute.
Okay.
So,
I love paranormal shit.
Yeah, I do understand what you mean about the whole. I know something philosophically in your psychologist brain because you love actual psychology, so you're looking for more nuance.
Actually, the kind of psychology I like isn't really represented by that game. I mean, just as an aside, I'm the philosopher James Hillman. He's a psychologist, but that's a little bit more. A little more postmodern, and this has that very modern lines where like you like everything is dichotomized.
It's like classical character types, you know.
Yeah. There's a little too much of that for my liking.
It's a little bit too either or as opposed to a true spectrum.
Exactly.
To make it the game part of it, actually.
I don't know how you would do it otherwise, so I kind of understand why they did it that way, but it just kind of feels like not in that like you're right, the gender neutral part is really good, but in other respects it feels like maybe a little more older hat kind of like.
Well, he's European.
Yeah. Okay.
So speaking of rediscoveries, we did play Tiny Towns again, wherever that goes.
Where did it go? It's on the bottom. Now see, I didn't like
He
Tiny
had a
Towns
system.
when we played it the first time, but then when we played it more recently, I was having fun with it.
Oh, that's good. I couldn't remember where you landed on this game. So this is the game that infamously has some cat claw marks in some of the cards. So I can never call this. Probably not call this. Hey, Tim, would you buy a secondhand game that had... It's only a couple of cards that have the cat claw marks in it.
And it wasn't a cat.
It was a cat. But anyway.
It was a cat?
Yes. There are claw marks in a couple of the cards.
From a cat?
Yes.
Oh,
Actual claw
I
marks.
thought it was from a person.
No, baby.
What cats do we know?
Unreleased queer expansion. Unreleased. Release the queer expansion. That's what I say, Tim.
For Tiny Towns?
No, for Fog of Love. But
yeah.
there's a bunch of other expansions for this. Surprised I don't have a queer one. This is a really good solo game. And I think we ended up using the solo mode of drafting the cards when we did it 2-player last time, and you liked that better.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah, instead of the hammer. So there's...
The hammer was so stupid.
Yeah, so there's also a different... For the 2-player mode, they have an even separate way of drafting the cards that's different than the solo mode drafting. But I just did the solo mode drafting because it gives you a little bit more... It's less random. You can strategize a little bit more. And because the puzzle's already so tight, as it is. But I like it. It's like...
got nice meeples, or not meeples. What they get?
Yeah.
Building.
Beeples.
Beeples.
No, that's a bee meeple. It's not a meeple. They're just minis. They're like little wooden minis.
Yeah, they're
the
cute.
Buildings.
That part's good.
They're very cute, and there's a lot of expansions for this, which I haven't explored any of them. But if you like this enough, and we play it a little bit more, we could get one of the expansions.
Maybe.
But yeah, I like it. I like it. It's not something I reach for all the time, but I'm glad that it is getting its yearly play, its yearly quota. So
it's pretty much.
I probably will play it again before the year is out.
This one was really popular for a while too. I remember I saw it everywhere.
Yeah, and there are a lot of expansions and stuff, and I like the puzzle that it is. It's just there are a lot of other games that do this, this tight little grid puzzle now. There's a lot of grid puzzle games going on now. Like I played one that's a card-based animal one called Nemalia, which has a similar vibe to this, in that, okay, you need this amount of things to be in this row, but not in this row. And if you have this many things in this row, it'll get you this ascending number of points. It has a lot of that going on. But still an enjoyable game.
And another game that plays 1 to 6. So
yes,
certainly
with Das Hammer, the hammer. You're declaring the goods that you're going to be building. I'm just going to throw these in a pile back here in a chair right now. Is there anything else you want to talk about specifically? Oh, Botanik. We're starting a cult, guys, because this is our most played game of the last 3 months for sure.
Yeah.
Like Metro X, Dead Test, Silver and Gold, Dead Test. It's all about Botanik now. Botanik. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. It's a French game.
There's another game, though, that would give it a run for its money.
What, Fliptown? Oh, yeah, I'll get to that in a second. Speaking of Valentine's Day game. But we were possibly going to stream this during February. We probably will definitely do a stream of this at some point, because we love this game.
Yeah, I mean, next to Fliptown.
Yes. Thank you to Michelle from Second Star to the Left for turning me onto this one. This is her and her daughter Billy were raving about this game. It's one of their Not Enough Spoons, one of their, I think they had it on a list. It was like patio table games, because it doesn't take up a lot of real estate. It's
that's the best part.
Tile placement, network building, just the way that you draft the tiles in this game. Like you're putting tiles on each side of a board, and then if you place a tile somewhere in the center, you can release tiles on both sides, or strategically not release tiles on the other side. So it's very good. It is on BGA. It's in beta now, so you can play this online if you want.
Yeah, then try it out.
Highly recommend. I beat the pants off Jamie from Foster and Meatball recently at this, because she was like, yeah, I played this once and I didn't reread the rules. And it's like, I can tell. So I gave her a couple of pointers, and we're in a rematch right now, so we'll see how she does. But I know she's only played it because Michelle's always forced her to. Because Michelle's always proselytizing this game, and I'm like, I understand why. We are now part of the Botanik cult. Some people call it Botanik, but it's Botanik, I'm pretty sure.
Botanik.
They're French. These are the same guys. So this is Space Cowboys, who also did The Bloody End.
Oh, I like that game too.
And Choi, which is a game I want to get. That's a dice placement Euro game I think you would really enjoy.
I like dice.
Yeah, I think they've sort of worked out their distribution stuff, so I think their games are going to start getting reprinted, I think, soon. This is technically out of print right now, but I did find it, again...
Oh, it's out of print?
I think I found this on Miniature Market, so it's floating around in some of the official secondhand dealers. It's just between printings right now, I should say.
Maybe we should write them and tell them they need to reprint it.
Well, because they used to be under the umbrella of a bigger company, which folded. So they're a smaller design studio. So they've just been trying to figure out their international distribution deals. It's still in print in Europe. So if worse comes to worse, you could always just type in Amazon.fr, because you can do that. You can order stuff from foreign Amazon. You just have to pay the VAT tax on it. So it basically doubles the price.
I would do it.
You should, or get it secondhand. It's floating around secondhand in America. You can find it on eBay or Noble Knight. I'm sure someplace like that will have it. And it's just an excellent 2-player game. Plays in 30 minutes or less. I think we definitely gotten it down to
it's
30
minutes or less.
Yeah, and it's satisfying. It's just a good comfort food game. It has just enough crunch, but not too much that if you're like super tired and you're low on spoons, like this is totally like, I see why they put it on their not enough spoons list.
Yeah. Very accessible.
The
only thing that's
quirky
kind of
first,
weird,
understanding how the network building works, and like it's a little quirky at first, and understanding how the strategy of how to get everything to tie back to your original pipe, because you're essentially creating a network. And everything has to connect back to that network. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, don't be put off. I mean, I'm sure there's people that would absolutely love this artwork because it's so quirky. It reminds me of my first partner. Back then we called him a lover. My first lover.
Your first lover?
Yeah. Used to draw just like this. Look at these, like... He used to draw these crazy little things. And this is very crazy looking.
It's very kind of Burton-esque.
Oh, like Tim Burton? Yeah, definitely. The only thing I was going to say is it's that some of them are kind of hard
so at
to
first,
make
the iconography
color.
on the tiles takes a little bit getting used to.
Yeah, especially like the black.
Just because the idea is it's post-apocalyptic. You're growing sentient plants or something like that, but anyway, like the vibe is plants, and just it's very ornate, and you have like these vines kind of in, so it can be hard to tell sometimes
what's that
the difference between two different shapes, and like if they have a flower on them or not.
What kind of core is the gothic thing, kind of, what's that called?
Goblin core.
Is it? I kind of think this is sort of goblin.
It's goblin core adjacent. It's kind of like a mixture of goblin core and cottage core. Poison ivy before her transformation. Yes, that's very much the vibe. This is poison ivy pre-op.
But anyway, this is...
And I love the little book. Her name's Beatrix, by the way. Mad Botto scientist. Ooh, and this is her book of secrets.
We should just do we should make a list of like our favorite. Well, did we do that already? Our go-to games? Like, wait, did we end up doing that?
We have not done a top 11 of our games of all time. We still haven't done the 2-player only list.
That's the one I'm thinking of, because although some of them are not 2-player only, because I was thinking of like Tussie Mussy. They're games that you can just pull out right on, and then
I would love to do a not enough spoons list, because often you don't have enough spoons.
It's true.
Sometimes I don't have enough spoons either, and this Botanik is a good one for that. Another good one for that, of course, is my favorite of all time, Yahtzee.
I can't say anything bad about it.
Okay, you can put it back up there.
There's not that much you can say about it.
It's just when you don't have the energy to play anything else, I can always go for a Yahtzee. And then we did introduce the gig, which I streamed this solo. Which apparently I got a rule wrong on the solo video, guys, by the way. I don't think it really changed the outcome of the game, but just so you're aware, if you go and watch that video, I was getting the multiplayer rules a little mixed up with the solo rules as far as placing the die. But we played this at 4, finally, with Shelly and Jamila. the real time at 4. This game is a wild ride. I got left in the dust because I wasn't quick enough, and I was just struggling to set up the game. It took me like 30 minutes to set up the game. It took us 20 minutes to play it. It's fast, which is a selling point, I think. It only plays 4, and I see why. So we played this also at 3 with our niece. My niece, I should say. And we did the untimed variant because she has anxiety. And she's a more methodical type of thinker, just like Rich is. So the untimed variant I still thought was very fun. And in that one, you each place your die 2 at a time, as opposed to doing the mad dash. But the mad dash is fun.
It is.
You're calling out, take it to the bridge. Like, it's wild and crazy, but they enjoyed it. It was a good game night.
It's so hard to understand, like the way game, because I think this game, I would have guessed that it would be huge, like hugely popular.
It is picking up some steam.
Is it?
I don't know what's going on with the retail release. As I said in that video, I've heard some mutterings about you can find it on, it's already popping up on the secondhand market, because I know a lot of game stores bought up some Kickstarter editions. So you should be able to find this right now. Actually, I think if you go to, you could probably order it for your local game store. Someone like Noble Knight probably is going to have it. I don't think someone like Game Nerds would have it, because they usually carry the bigger titles. And not necessarily, well, sometimes they carry things like this. But it was a Kickstarter. The Kickstarter's still fulfilling in some countries. So that's not done yet. Because they had production snafus and just shipping to Australia and Asia is a little
the
wonky.
Quality of the materials is so good, and I mean, and I love
the little spiral bound book, the custom dice, the custom music note dice. Okay, man,
so good.
I love classically trained. Also, I've been trained in jazz. I'm not a good jazz musician, but I know her. I know her. I was in the room. But this is one of my favorite roll and write games. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's not crunchy enough to like be like a constant solo rotation for me. I think I do like it better multiplayer. Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying in the comment section with a certain person on the live video. But it's not bad solo. It's just solo I think is better for just, there's so many different boards you can play that are all like different.
Can we show them? They're so, I know. I have to get, what is it?
Pull them out.
Why do I have to get in the box? There's the songbook.
The Victor Plant hunting game.
It's like spiral bound.
Oh, the Victoria Plant hunting game. I think I know which one you're talking about, Tim. That looks good.
What is so cool about these is the instruments. So
they're all just shaped like the instrument that they are.
Yeah,
it's such cool little puzzles.
Which is what I played.
And they all have like special scoring criteria, so they're asymmetric, but they're not like imbalanced. They all kind of are going to give you the same average of points if you do well at them. But yeah.
So I mean, you get the idea. It's
so colorful. I love the art.
It's
very quirky.
I think we like quirky games.
Of course, something different. Like
it's totally different than most.
And it's a very solid real time game too. I think it's very fun.
I'll play this anytime.
Yeah, Shelly and Jamila really enjoyed it. I think next time I'll actually play with the fan cards. That gives a little more scoring interest for me. Gives you something else so that if you don't do well in the mad dash for icons, the fans, and there's also the experimental sessions. There's an extra deck for just scoring for just that round that also can help you if you don't do well with that. So I think it helps balance it out a little bit more. So check it out. You should try and find it. And
honestly, we've covered so many games that I would almost classify as must-have. Like almost all the games that we just talked about. Like I would just say, get it.
And we go through waves, right? Where we have the games that are really in the rotation. But I think we've been better lately about. There's some games like, okay, these are the games we're playing again and again. These are things that are coming regularly through the rotation, like Four Gardens. You wanted to talk about that one.
Now, this is one I really would think about taking and playing with Tony.
Yes, this is a very accessible family weight type of game. The best thing about this game is the 3D spinning pagoda, which is how you get resources in the game. It's a bit of table presence, which seems ridiculous the first time you play it, but is actually very functional and you're basically, it's tableau building. So if you know like the panoramas in Takedo, you're making similar kind of panoramas, but it's a lot of resource management and multi-use cards. I love the multi-use cards in this game. And that all makes it sound like it's not a heavy game.
It's totally a light game.
Yeah, it's like an hour. Very good. We played this with Jamila.
Is this one? Who did? Oh, Martin.
Dolezal. It's Korea Board Games, who have been, they just released The Veil of Eternity. This is that same publisher, I believe. It might, or that might be a different Korean publisher, I'm not sure. But it's a Korean publisher. Not a Korean designer, but actually the development team on this was Korean. So, you know. They're like, oh, well, he could say he just did the mechanical design, but we took care of the rest. But Korea Board Games is one of the bigger publishers out of Korea. I think this is the people that released The Veil of Eternity, which I really wanted.
What's that about?
So it's basically like Pokemon. So you're taming monsters. It's it's like a tableau building kind of game, card drafting game. Very good. Very cool art. But I'm pretty sure it's the same publisher. And yeah, this is just a nice little resource management game. And you're sort of, the way the scoring works in this game, you always forget about. But I'm always like, oh, that's what's good about this game. Because the way that it works is you're moving, as you build the panoramas, you're getting some points, right? It's not a very high scoring game because there's like these 4 tracks in 4 different colors. The 4 gardens, the 4 elements. Do you get it? The 4 sides of the pagoda. And then, but once you get to 10, if you get more points beyond 10 on that track, you bump everyone else on that track. They all lose a point backwards. Yeah. So it's possible for you to knock other people's things completely off a track. And then they won't score any points for that color. It's very interesting. It can be very mean in that sense if you're very strategic about it. But I found it's generally...
It's a lightweight. It's
a lightweight game. It's flying away.
Game.
I've been cooking a lot of Italian food.
I'm starting to rub off on me now.
I've been watching Pasta Grammar nonstop lately with Eva. Ciao, I'm Eva. And she talks like that. By the way, we were going to talk about life updates in a bit at the end, but...
Well, now we're morphing into a food channel.
For real, I ordered this Sicilian pasta. It's called filet, and it's like a twisty pasta. And I'm going to make pasta e cecchi, which is pasta. It's kind of like pasta fagioli, but with chickpeas and tomato sauce.
Wait.
So
no, I have to.
You're gonna open it? Oh
well,
no!
Wait, I don't want to.
Careful with all that.
No, I won't.
Oh, it's a bendy one. Okay, I thought it was like something that flipped off.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay, but we gotta.
He's gotta open it.
I have to
it's
open
a pasta unboxing.
No, it's because of this. While we're playing games the next time.
You had like a little cigar.
Yeah. If you just want to like do this because you just quit smoking.
This is a really
something.
interesting shape because you make it kind of like fettuccine, but instead of cutting it straight, you basically wrap it around your finger or your thumb and you like roll it. So it's sort of like a little roughly rolled cigar.
Any pasta like
very
this
unique,
ever.
and yeah. So I had to order it online.
They probably have it at the co-op though.
No, they don't. It's very hard to get.
Really?
You can only get it online because they only make it in Sicily and Calabria.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a very local pasta. You can make it fresh,
so
too.
How much was that? $49?
No, I'm not spending that much. If I was going to spend $50, I'd get us, like, actual, like, ream of Caciocavallo or something. But, it was $15 for the 2-pack, which isn't bad.
Oh, that's not bad for the 2-pack.
It was the last one on Amazon, though. So, like I'm saying, it's kind of hard to get. But it comes through. You can get it online sometimes. Maybe some specialty markets have it every now and again, but I... would be surprised.
Cordy Brothers, perhaps.
Maybe Cordy Brothers. We have like this really bougie local locally owned. Are they an Italian family? Yeah.
Cordy.
Are they actually brothers? Or one of them is named Cordy.
They are now.
The last name is Cordy, but yeah, so that's what we're having for dinner tonight. I'm very excited for it because I made some farfalle alla scarpiello last night, which is a fresh tomato pasta. That was bomb. So I've been cooking a lot of Italian
pasta kick now.
I was on a Polish cooking kick for a while. Now I'm on an Italian kick. So, but anyway, so I did want to mention, so briefly, our giveaway is still happening.
Yeah.
Because we are going to be playing John's game soon, Making Manhattan. Okay. This is another great 2-player game, by the way. So, I don't know if this is currently available on Button Shy's website, but if it is, you should definitely get it, because I think it's one of their better 2-player tableau building games, for sure. And not just because we love our John so much. And then Rich did play Circle the Wagons. We're on the Button Shy's now. So, you liked it better this time.
Yeah.
For sure. This is the one where you're making the circle and you're drafting cards from the circle. It's pretty similar in scoring to Sprawlopolis, but not as big because you're dealing with half the cards. So the very small tableau compared to Sprawlopolis. Another Steve Armini.
Oh, that one is?
Well, Danny Devine and Paul Kluka were there because it's really the Sprawlopolis design, but just circle drafting. Mm-hmm. You can hold it. Mm. And tell us about your thoughts. Circle the Wagons.
Well, my thoughts are that I need to open it up and
you remind yourself.
Cards. Yeah, I do. Happy cows. Well, they live in California. Everybody knows that. I do remember these. I like games where you have to match up, like you have to position the cards. It's sort of
scoring for adjacencies,
like cafe-esque.
Yeah, card overlaying. Yeah.
Yeah, these...
Which I wish there was a better name for that mechanic, because, yeah, that is one of my favorite mechanics as well.
Yeah, I like these cards.
You don't have to overlay the cards in this game. Similar to Sprawlopolis, you can just position them side by side.
Well, there's adjacency, like you said.
Yeah, adjacencies.
Yeah, I actually did really like this game. Let's play it again.
You should. You should. But I just wanted to mention that we played it again, because I think in the past you had been like, I didn't like that on a monthly math or something.
You know what? My opinions about things change.
A lot.
That's just how I am.
Speaking of opinions, last but not least, this is our most played game of the winter. Easily.
Because it's a great game, and it doesn't last. It doesn't last too long and wear out its welcome.
Liz is turning into my favorite designer too. But I need to play a couple more games by her before I really decide. Because Undergrove is on BGA now. I need to try it.
They're really fond of that Grove. The Grove thing.
It's true. We have Groves.
Grove,
singular. That's the Orchard sequel. Which, the Forage sequel to Grove is coming.
How about Forage Grove? We'll combine them. And come up
Undergrove is about mushrooms and Douglas fir pine trees. And we still haven't tried the Fox Experiment, which does have roll and write elements in it. But those are both co-designs. She's co-designing with this Mark guy now, which is interesting. So we need to check out both those ones. But this one is this is the other Not Enough Spoons game, which I'm surprised. This is like a game you're always in the mood to play.
It doesn't look like it would be, if you superficially, you might think, oh, wow, that looks like a really
It both
tough
looks
game.
Heavier than it is, and it's both crunchier than it seems. You know what I mean?
It kind of is the best of both worlds, really.
I do like it quite a bit. It's grown on me. I think when I played it a bunch on BGA, and I was kind of like, yeah, this is okay. I think the first couple times you play it, that aspect of the dice rolling and the digging for cards does make it seem very luck dependent. But once you understand kind of what the game is trying to get you to do, you start to realize it's about just increasing my odds, making them better. That's why there's those percentages on the cards and stuff. And it's just a really good engine building game.
Yeah.
Every time you can do a slightly different engine, and I'm really excited for Wingspan, the dragon reimplementation of this. A reimplementation of a woman designer by another woman designer. Hi, Connie Fogelman, who also has a game called Apiary, which is Bees in Space.
Oh, you
Also
pointed that
published
game out to
by
me.
Stone Meyer. Have you seen it?
You pointed it out when it might have been from Barnes and Noble. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you pointed
That one,
out.
as I understand it, is also like that's a worker replacement because bees in space. There's like a little queen bee mothership token in it, and it has asymmetric player boards in that one too. A lot of engine building. It's very Euro-y, you know. So I want to try that one out, and Wormspan. Obviously, because from my understanding, Wormspan it works a little bit differently mechanically. Like you're uncovered instead of adding the cards in the rows, you're like uncovering deeper into the caves, and you have to pay. Similar to eggs, you have to pay, but there's some different kind of money economy going on in it. But anyway, and the expansions, I want to get the Asia expansion for this because that has the extra board for 2 players. It's supposed to make it a little more competitive. At 2, that might be interesting.
Yeah, because the only thing I'll say is 2, it's very relaxing.
Very multiplayer solitaire.
Yeah, it is definitely multiplayer solitaire.
Because you're not really, in a lot of games like that, usually the only interaction would be taking cards other people want. But because of this game, you're just constantly trying to dig for cards. You're never very precious about one particular card most of the time. That aspect doesn't feel as...
Hey... I just saw something.
What?
I don't think we covered all of the new games. Because wasn't this a new game?
Speaking of animals.
Yes.
This is also all the hotness right now. Forest Shuffle. Another game I played on
When did
BGA.
we play that stuff? I'm sure I have played it
February.
Since, yeah.
Because I got it in February. I got the very last copy in the continental United States, guys. Because it's out of print everywhere because it's sold out. Because it's so hot. It hit the presses in the States and everyone, myself included, snapped it up. I got it from some game store in Texas. Thank you, by the way, to Bill from whichever Discord that was who sent me the link. Because I immediately bought it with spent my last $40 on it. But this is talk about engine building combo-tastic. Mamma mia. If you like animals.
I love animals.
What did you think of this game?
I liked it.
You played it once.
It has card tucking, which is always good.
I love card tucking. And other forms of tucking.
And...
Tucking my baby in at night.
I love being tucked in.
Yes, it was card tucking.
Have you seen the video of the God, I shouldn't even go off. It's this guy, and he's tenderly wrapping his crow.
Yes, his crow,
buddy.
his baby crow, his crow buddy.
His crow buddy. And apparently it's like, and then it says, remember, if you're cold, they're cold.
That's right.
But you have to see this crow just wrapped up in this a hooded blanket, and it just looks so warm, and it's looking at you. I mean, honestly, crows are so intelligent anyway.
He loves animals. That's the
do.
point of this. And there are more woodland critters in this game than you could shake a stick at. It's a lot of cards. A lot of cards. And you're going for this whole deck every time, pretty much.
Yeah, I want to play this one again, too.
You seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, I did.
I had a feeling you probably would, but I wasn't sure because there's so many different combos. There's so many different ways to score in the game. So there's so many different kind of combos you can create, like different animal cards feeding into other cards. So scoring this game is a little bit of a nightmare.
The only thing is, I would say, yeah, I have to have enough spoons to play this one. This one is probably not you don't have that many spoons.
It's a before 9 o'clock game.
Yes, it is definitely.
Which is why I'll be starting my pasta e cecchi before I go to work today.
Yeah.
So, I'm only working for an hour. But, yeah.
Great game.
I think we covered most of the things we need to cover. I do want to say, don't take any jobs on Wednesday. Can we avoid taking jobs on Wednesday?
I try.
Oh, you can't guarantee it. We need that money. So, that's right. To purchase all these games. We are going to cover Aqua Garden. That is a game we played just a couple days ago.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
just
why
played it.
I'm not talking about it yet because Rich had feelings about it. And
Not strong feelings.
That's my point. But that was a March thing, so that'll be part of our spring of games. Or if we end up streaming,
So
we
do you
probably
just-
will end up streaming it. Aqua Garden. That is another one that is a Kickstarter one that there's not a lot of content on.
I
so
feel
far.
like there's one more game for sure we must talk about.
What's that? Oh, because I actually got Rich a Valentine's Day gift.
Yeah.
Because DeVere was having a sale. You know, I love DeVere. And this is another game we played at RageCon for the first time. So it wasn't technically a new to us, but it was, Rich completely forgot it because he was barely conscious the first time we played it anyway.
It's true.
This is another one. A lot of people like this game, but this is one I first heard about from Michelle. Again, second star to the left. She's always has the best, because we have tastes very similar, I think, to those two.
Have.
But they love Button Shy. They're the ones that introduced me to Button Shy, so it makes sense they'd be introducing me to these other games. But they really love Paris. This is a really good 30-minute or less, 2-player only tile placement game that's surprisingly strategic.
It is, but there's something quirky about this because you actually play in the box.
Yeah, and there's 2 stages. So the first stage of the game, you're laying basically the groundwork. So you're laying the cobblestones, and it's inside the box. Yes, so let me show this to you because it seems like a gimmick. It is a little bit of a gimmick. But it works.
It does work.
It's very functional. That's all the stuff. And then, so this is the board. And that's where you're laying down these, you each have a little stack of cobblestones that you're laying down first. And the way in which you lay down your cobblestones in the first part of the game really matters because that's where that dictates how you're going to be able to place your tiles in the second part of the game. So you can end up, and it's a very tight, like this is a 4x4 grid, essentially. So it's a very tight polynomial puzzle because the other person could easily block you and you could be unable to place a tile at all. And you can't get any new tiles after the first half of the game. So and then you have, these extra scoring cards, these postcards.
Part that's so
beautiful postcards, which look beautiful and like I want to send them to Kat or something.
I know.
They're actual postcards, but they're also the action spots you can take in the second half to help you kind of do different scoring things in addition to the tiles that you're placing. And what's interesting in this one, you're not just scoring for adjacencies, you're scoring for illumination. So depending on if your building is within the line, the lamp site, I guess is what you would call it.
Right.
Like, so you're placing, there's these little spots for the lamps. I don't know if you can see it. They kind of look like that. There's the lamp. And so the way you place your tile, if it's part of the tile is adjacent to one of the lamps, it's illuminated by that lamppost. And if you can get the tile illuminated by multiple lampposts, you can get increasing multipliers for the score of that tile. So it's a very interesting game. And you do a different combination of these postcards. I think there's like 12 and you play with, I think it's 8 each time. And DeVere's sale for Valentine's Day this was about 20 something, I think. And then you got the expansion, the Eiffel expansion, for free. So this just adds more postcards and also some minis of like the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe. And there's a little mini Mona Lisa in there for the Louvre. Super cute. And it adds like more asymmetric kind of scoring things, I think there's even a werewolf in there. Or it's a gargoyle. It's not a werewolf. It's a gargoyle for Notre Dame. So we haven't played with this expansion stuff yet because I wanted to kind of play out the first one a little bit, but you've been really liking this game.
Yeah.
A lot.
No, it's a good game.
We have a lot of 2-player games. In fact, Shelly came over the other day and she's like, ooh, that game looks interesting. That game looks interesting. And I was like, oh, those are all 2-player only games. She's like, you need some games that play more than 2. I'm like, well, most of our game time is the 2 of us.
I mean, this game could be scaled up if they,
No, it's a little,
be.
it's such a tight little puzzle You know, there's so little space. It's really designed to be a 2-player game.
This one is, yeah.
Yeah, we have other tile placement games that play 4. That's fine. But Patchwork is also a 2-player only game, which I've played with Shelly before. I think she would really like this one, actually. Yeah. She'd be like trying to be all like, ooh. Like,
oh, yeah. She'd be, oh my God, I can imagine. Because there's a lot to, I don't usually,
we aren't too mean with each other about it. Like, I let you do you, you'd let me do me. The thing that we compete over are those postcard actions, because that's where the real juicy scoring happens.
God, somebody that makes postcards, they should just they could totally snap up those, because
there's other games that use postcards. Oh yeah, like just the copies.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
The
No, if they
like
they
look at this
them,
one for
totally
Fontaine des Mers. Isn't that beautiful? The art in this is just great. Who is this artist?
I know. I agree. The art is phenomenal.
Oriol Hernandez. So maybe they make prints. DeVere, you should sell just the postcards on your website. That's a thing they should do.
They should totally.
Yeah, I still want to get the White Castle from DeVere. That's the other hotness game I don't have right now that people are still on the presses about. Aqua Garden is fading a little bit, but apparently a lot of people are still hunting for Aqua Garden because it's hard to get copies of. But they have another Kickstarter happening, that company, Uchibakoa, who makes amazing meeples. They are amazing, guys. Like, we're going to feature that game just to show you those freaking meeples. But I have a ton of expansions for them. Where did all this expand? Oh, they're up there. So, like, if you look up here, these are all expansions for that game underneath the Yahtzee. And then there's between Aqua Garden, there's also Beach coming. It's this whole standalone expansion, which expands the game, which makes it you're collecting. So you're building your own aquarium. It says, I think on, what is it, the thing it says on the rule book? Yeah, let's build our own aquarium, guys. Like, it's cute. It's a dual rondelle game. It was lighter than I was expecting, is the only thing. So I want to play it with some more of the expansions. There is a solo mode, but the solo mode isn't very... The solo mode was
Yeah.
I decided to use... There is a bot you can play with in the 2-player mode that's supposed to make things a little more competitive. But I do want to try playing it at 3 and 4. I still think it'd be okay as a 2-player game if we do it with the Beach Coming expansion. But we have to still explore all of that. There's a lot of content that I got. I mean, I think that was the first Kickstarter I just went all in on. I was like, oh no, because it was so hard to find. It's such a hard to find game because they only release it for the Kickstarters, and they sell it on their website, but their website, that company, they only ship to Japan and Asia.
Oh.
So, like, you can see they have it all on their website, but you can't really get it delivered directly to them to the States because of tariffs, shipping things. So they only ship internationally for their Kickstarters.
And remember, tariffs are going to be going way, way up if a certain person reclaims the White House.
Which
Not
one?
to get too political, but
it could be either one. I don't even know. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, they already said he wants to go from like a 2% import tax to 10% or something.
I'm not the biggest fan of, the PRC either, but I don't know. I think the sudden anti-China fervor just feels very much like the rich just hate that they have to pay a decent wage to dock workers. But anyway, I'm not going to look at those election results yet. I really don't tell me if Katie Porter didn't win. I don't even care about the presidential primary at this point. Also, state assembly. I want to get that freaking white boy Josh Hoover out of office.
Yeah,
but
I don't know
anyway,
how that one came out.
I voted for Dr. Y.K. Shamshlara. I can't say his last name very well. I'm sorry, guys.
It's a little hard.
Shamshlara.
Come on, Shmirna.
Oh, no. We should respect his name. Try to say it the right way. I'm doing my best. Shamshara.
No, that was just... never mind.
Anyway.
It's a meme only I know.
Anyway, we've been playing a lot of games. And also we played Rajas is here.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about the other games.
Yeah. Leaf. We played more Leaf. We still haven't... I did a solo stream of Leaf. I did. we just haven't done.
An enchanting game. It's very
enchanting.
Like a lot of.
It's not
games
fall
that we've done.
anymore. Winter's almost over, so it's time to think about spring.
Yay!
So,
Okay.
Tim and anyone else who may be watching, if you have any suggestions for spring games, Verdant for sure, but that will probably be a solo stream. Cottage Garden maybe.
Mariposas?
The Mariposas is an autumn game.
Is it?
Because you're trying to get the butterflies home
Back, but
the high before they.
yeah, but they're hitting their breeding grounds probably in
Tussy Mussy.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim does enjoy Wingspan. Wingspan is fun. It's surprisingly fun. I don't know. It's just there's something about it. It just grows on you. You know.
It does.
It grows. It grows.
Meadow.
Well, Four Gardens. Meadow.
Meadows. Now that I
Meadow
feel like
for
is
sure.
more of a fall game.
That definitely. No, I think it's a spring summer game.
Really?
Because you're hiking.
I'm
You're
just
getting out in
looking
nature.
around.
Also, if you like this shirt, let us know. We're going to order some more. So if you would like to get your hands on your very own Get Gaming t-shirt, they're very comfortable.
Yeah.
Very
It
comfortable.
came out way better than we even thought it would.
I know. But yeah, so we're going to get some more made. So if y'all have some interest, Lotus. Maybe. I think that's on BGA, isn't it, Tim? I always get it confused with Chakra.
Chakra.
Photosynthesis might be a little mean for Rich, but I have had my idea on, there's an implementation of it called Evergreen that I think Rich may enjoy for that one. Yeah, more tree-themed things. Do we have other tree-themed
Well, we
things?
had Arboretum, but I don't know, did you get rid of it?
Yeah, I did. Sold it. Yeah, I did not like Arboretum either.
No.
I want to make a big,
don't
huge
like it.
orchard. That whole thing with scoring at the end and people can, like, gotcha at the end. I did not like that in the game at all. And I know for a lot of people, that's the strategy, and that's what... It's sort of like how I feel like... Same reason people like... what's that other two-player only game that everyone loves that starts with an S? It's a Greek island. Santorini.
Oh, is that a 2-player only?
We didn't like that one either because, again, we're not the people that I'm going to beat my opponent. The only game where we feel very take that at 2 players is
Duel?
Kahuna.
Oh, Kahuna. Yeah, Kahuna's is about...
You get upset, and I'm just there cackling the whole time.
You're not wanted in Duda.
I love Kahuna so much.
That's one of our favorite memes from that.
That is a stressful game, though. But it's so good. It's so good. If you've never played Kahuna and you like 2-player games or like strategic games,
That's a great game.
Now, I usually beat you at Kahuna, but you usually beat me at backgammon.
I do.
I'm never playing backgammon on BGA with him again because the last 2 games, I don't know what the computer has been doing, but you rolled so many doubles in a row. 6 doubles in a row.
Yeah, and he couldn't get a double to save his life.
I was like, now I know how you felt about Yahtzee on BGA with those dice rolls.
Oh,
It was my karma. The Yahtzee karma coming to bite me on backgammon, but that's probably the only game mostly the only game he plays on BGA.
I love
with me.
backgammon though.
Sometimes we'll play
really
Kahuna on BGA, and sometimes you'll play Yahtzee with me on BGA, but those are mainly the games that Rich is willing to play on BGA. He's always squinting at the screen.
Oh god, it's so little. Oh.
It kind of is. That backgammon implementation isn't the best on BGA either. I agree. The Kahuna one's actually decent.
Kahuna, yeah.
Because that one, you don't need to read a lot of text.
No, there's no text.
Well, there's not text in backgammon, but they can't even fit the whole board on the phone screen in that backgammon. So, I will consider your requests, Tim. Mostly probably Lotus or maybe Evergreen. You might like.
Is Lotus? Does it have kind of an Eastern?
Yeah, it's
theme
like an Indian theme.
Yeah,
I think.
Okay.
There's also that Mandala game that I played with Hannah that's on BGA that I think you might like. But maybe more so in person. It's quirky.
we generally tend to love quirky.
You're making mandalas. What's not to love?
Exactly.
He loves Hindu philosophy. He actually reads actual yogic philosophy written by actual Indian dudes. So, yeah. So Kune versus Lakia is coming hopefully next week.
What?
And I will be streaming on Sunday.
What's coming next week?
Now, Tim, I have a question for you for Sunday. If you're here next week, we're going to do Kune versus Lakia.
Oh, okay. You're saying that's what's coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim, if I do Hadrian's Wall, will you play along with me on Sunday? Are you free on Sunday? Are you doing anything? Because if you're not going to be around, I'll do something different. But I don't know. Jenna has really done Hadrian's Wall streams to death, so I feel like that's her territory, and I don't even want to touch it. I did finally play Hadrian's Wall again this month, is why I bring it up. And I was like, ooh, this is good. This would be even more fun to do on stream, though. If I don't do that, I may end up doing that Dwarf Romantic stream, and it'll be spoiler-tastic. But you let me know if you'd be into some Hadrian's Wall action, Tim. You know. I have to go to work soon. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. So, we got you caught up on all the important things, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Let us know if you want a t-shirt, or we could have other merchandise made. I still want to make
a book bag.
I want to make some mugs.
Mugs.
But shirts are easier to ship, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim doesn't own it. It's on BGA, though. Okay, I won't do Hadrian's Wall. That's fine. I'll figure something else out, and I will post about it in the community tab. I'm going to try to make a new schedule for March. Hopefully it'll work out this time. We're definitely doing Kune versus Lakia. We're still going to do Making Manhattan with the giveaway after that.
Right.
Because I have a ton of button shies I need to get rid of. Just like duplicates of things. And I thought that would be a fun little giveaway. And to give back to our most cherished supporters. Like, I'll probably have like 3 people's names back. It'll be Tim, Hannah, maybe Mitch. No, probably more than that. I'll make it a proper giveaway. So it won't be a live giveaway. I've still got to figure out how to do the giveaway. It would be nice to do like the live drawing for the giveaway, we're gonna figure it out. But Kune versus Lakia will be next, and I'll be doing something on Sunday. What is a solo game I did recently that would be good for that? Indeed. Indeed. But I'll think about it. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in with us, guys. We're glad to be back in the saddle. Okay, you may see a video here or there popping up, but I just thought for these more time-sensitive things that are like, we're talking about the stuff that we've been playing, it makes more sense to do it live. I think it's just more sustainable.
I felt like it did just as well as we would have done if we, filmed it. So.
I agree. And we got to interact with our lovely Tim, number 1 fan, VIP. Rich still wants to see a pic, Tim. He wants to know what you look like. He wants your hot selfies. Meanwhile, I appreciate you for you.
Hey,
also, I'm a little bit into the mystery. Anyway, you can send your dick pics to getgaymen@gmail.com. Maybe throw in a face one there too, but just, like you're looking over like this. JK, Tim, we love you even if you don't have a face. He does have a face, but, just not on YouTube, And either way, I respect your privacy.
I do too. But
what if it turns out the whole time Tim was actually my sister masquerading as a gay man?
Trying to keep a watchful eye on you.
Who knows? No, Tim, I believe you're a real person.
Yes, I do too.
Because my sister would not tune in this faithfully to anything. We love you. And wherever Hannah is, loved her too. I've been DMing with her. And she said she hopes your surgery goes well. She's sending good vibes to you.
Nice.
Yes. And God, I just don't want to get off stream because I love you guys so much.
No, we have to end with our reminders and safety precautions.
Right. So remember to be gay.
Frolic in the field or meadow,
but don't get rabies.
That's the safety message right there. Don't get rabies.
Don't get rabies. Yeah.
I hear the shots are not fun.
And let us know about the t-shirts. You can always email us and just put t-shirt in the subject line, and then I'll know how many to order.
Okay.
Maybe that could be part of the giveaway.
Could be. Why not?
Okay. We'll see.
Or consolation prizing.
He says a Lifetime original film of him and my sister masquerading as him, creating this whole persona. It's not as crazy as it sounds, because my stalker did something similar, tried to create an alternate persona to convince my sister that I had AIDS. That's what he called it. Spoken as someone who clearly was an awful person who's never known a positive person in his life. And she was like, see, I know this guy was fake because he didn't even say you had HIV first. He just skipped straight. I'm pretty sure he's not in the hospital. That was really quick.
He has neither, so
and I wasn't his only victim.
Wow.
That's not the only thing he did, by the way. He did a lot of stalking. He basically stalked every gay guy my age in Sacramento.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. Meep. Meep, I'm sorry. You don't have to say sorry for your meeps, Tim. You're our little Elmo. Oh, who's the one that goes meep?
I don't know.
Beaker. Beaker goes meep. Meep.
No, Beaker is the scientist one.
Who's the orange hair? He goes meep.
I don't know.
All I know is you're my little snuffleupagus. So I guess that makes me Big Bird.
I guess so.
Follow that bird. Okay, bye guys.